everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma, and if you've not been here before, in these videos I talk to you about all the things I've been making since I last recorded a video. Today is the 27th of November, it's the last Sunday of the month, and I've got a few things to talk to you about. I've got one finished object, I've got 4 works in progress, 2 of which I think are new since I last recorded at the end of October, so that's exciting. And I've got a little bit of shop news right at the end of the video for you. So the notes for today's episode will be in the description box underneath the video. Brief notes will be, and then more detailed notes will be on my website when I get round to writing them up, which normally is about a week after I've recorded, because it takes quite a lot to write fuller show notes. My website will be linked in the description box as well, so you've got easy access to all the places that you need to go to from this episode. Thank you for all your comments on my last video. If you remember, I had asked about, I'd asked for your opinion on which colour heel to knit into my stripy tiny human knits socks. Spoiler alert, I have done nothing with those socks since I last recorded, but you were unanimous in your view that it was the claret heel that needed to go in, so that is what is going to go in. I'm going to try and get that sorted this week, I think, actually. So hopefully my socks will be finished by the time I record next time. So this is a sock free episode, which is quite unusual for me anyway. Okay, just checking to see whether there's anything else I need to say before we get into the actual knitting. Don't think there is, so we will kick off with finished object, I think. Right, so if you've been here before, you may remember that I was knitting my husband a sweater. I was knitting him the Flax sweater by Tin Can Knits, which is the same sweater as I am wearing. I finished this not so long ago and I absolutely love it. I love the fit. I love the yarn that I knitted in. This is a Drops Nord in the dark grey colourway, I can't quite remember. It just fits an absolute dream. The yarn is perfect and I love it. I wear it a lot. My husband's sweater, however, I don't think is going to see quite as much wear. I haven't quite gauged his opinion yet. He has tried it on. I'm not happy with it, and I think the reason for it is the yarn. But let me show you. There is the finished item. There is the yarn. I mean, it's a really nice yarn. This, if you remember, I was knitting it from this King Cole Forest in the Epping Forest colourway. It's going to focus. There we go. And this is a lovely tweedy yarn. It's recycled, or some of it's recycled. It's wool, acrylic, polyamide and viscose, and it says it's a recycled Aran yarn. I've tried the sweater on my husband. It's big. Now, he wanted a big sweater. He gave me one of his shop bought sweaters to measure against. This measures up pretty accurately, but I think the problem with it is that I measured gauge. I got gauge actually. I didn't measure gauge before I started knitting, but the gauge I have hit is the gauge that's called for in the pattern, which is great, but it's just a bit loosey-goosey, and I'm not very happy with the fabric that's being created. And I think the reason for that is, and I should have given this a bit more thought before I started knitting, this yarn, the meterage is, where is it? there we go, 300 meters per 100 grams. Now that in my mind is not an Aran weight yarn. That's more sport weight heading into a light DK weight, I think. And I did a little bit of research before I started recording today. So these episodes are not just thrown together, you know. And I just made a note of some sort of more widely available Aran weight yarns just to compare the meterage, and without exception all the ones I looked at ranged from 140 meters per 100 grams to 200 meters per 100 grams, and the yarns that I looked at included some by Rico, Malabrigo Rios, Let Lopi, Cascade, Drops, West Yorkshire Spinners, so all big brand names. And I also looked at some indie dyed Aran weight yarns, and they were all coming out at 166 meters per 100 grams. So this yarn is way off what I think an Aran weight should be, which would explain why, although the gauge is correct, it's creating a looser fabric than I think this sweater should be. The gauge of this sweater is much tighter than this one. So I've said this to my husband. I've told him that I'm not very happy with it. And bless him, he said he would wear it and that he's really grateful for it, and it will be great for keeping warm in the winter while he's working away in his office next door. But he was keen for me to knit him another improved sweater for next winter, so there's no hurry for this, but I'm going to do a lot more research. I'm going to find a better yarn. I'm going to find a different pattern because I'm a bit fed up of knitting a flax, to be honest. This is the second one I've knit in this year. Yeah, I think that's right. So I'm going to do a bit more research, and next summer-ish I'm going to start working on a different sweater for him. If you've got any suggestions of good sweaters for men, drop them in the comments below. I am very keen to find something that would be interesting to work on. An Aran weight, maybe bulky weight. He likes quite a heavy jumper, so yeah, so drop your comments below if you've got anything that you think I might be interested in having a look at. What I would say about this yarn, I think I said in the last episode that it felt a little bit artificial to work with, and that I would be interested to see what it blocked, what it was like when it was blocked. It's softened up hugely and it's blocked out really nicely. So it's a yarn that I would consider using again, not in an Aran weight sweater. I would maybe look at using it for substituting a sport weight for maybe, or a light DK weight. But I would consider using it again for sure. Okay, that's my one finished object. Not a resounding success, but not a disaster. Okay, on to the next project, and we're on to works in progress now, and I will show you my current sweater project. This is a project for me. I am keeping it in, sorry, just trying to get organised, keeping it in one of my Harriet bags. These are, if you've not been here before, I make project bags for people who knit and crochet, and this is one that I designed myself. There are none in the shop at the moment, but there are going to be some on a made to order basis in my next shop update. More about that later. Okay, so I am currently working on the Yume sweater by Isabell Kraemer. Here is a copy of what it should look like. It's a very well-known sweater, and here is the progress that I have made. Last time I just finished, sorry, trying to get the threads all, doesn't want to behave, hang on, sorry. Right, is that right? Okay, here we go. So last time I think I was sort of round about here. I think I had just finished the lacework around the yoke. And I've knit a fair amount. I've split for the sleeves and I'm well down the body. I'm not quite sure how much further I've got to go. But maybe another 3 or 4 inches perhaps. I'm going to knit it so that it sits at just below my belt on my jeans. I quite like that length of sweater. So I am knitting this in Drops Nord. Into focus. Ball band. It's the same yarn that this has been knit out of. There we go. And it's in the colourway 04, which is I think it's the second lightest grey, but I may be wrong. In real life, this is looking a bit darker than is coming out on screen. I think I actually prefer the grey on screen to the grey in real life. It reminds me a bit of school jumper grey, if you know what I mean. But it's working out really nicely. I have been enjoying it tremendously. I enjoy a sweater when I get to this section. When I get to the round and round the body section, quite enjoy that sort of knitting. So I'm knitting size 4. I didn't gauge swatch, but it's the same, I think it's the same needles as I used in this sweater. So I know that my gauge is going to be there or thereabouts. I am toying whether I knit long sleeves or short sleeves on this. I'm not quite sure. The pattern helpfully shows what it looks like with one long sleeve and one short sleeve. I'm tempted, I must admit, I'm tempted to go with the short sleeves this time. But we'll see. We will see. I have got another sweater waiting in the wings to be cast on, which I am quite keen to do. So maybe short sleeves is the way to go with this one. Then I can wear it in the summer, spring, summer as well. But we will see. So that's the Yume by Isabell Kraemer, knit in Drops Nord, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I think that's all there is to say about that one. Whoops, did I just knock the camera there? Apologies if I did. Right, next project is a shawl. Don't often knit shawls, scarves. And I had wound up this, let me just sort the yarn out. I'd wound up this beautiful skein of yarn that I had picked out of my special skeins bag of yarn, because I think I've said in a few episodes now that I'm quite keen to start using my special skeins of yarn. So I wound up this skein of yarn, which is from Biffsugar yarns in the Demelza colourway. There is Alison's ball band. And this is 100% superwash merino single ply, fingering weight yarn, 100 grams, 366 meters. And I am knitting my second Sophie Scarf. I know everyone is jumping on that bandwagon, well, not everyone, but lots of people are jumping on the Sophie Scarf bandwagon, and I think for a very good reason. I don't often jump on a bandwagon, but I am enjoying this one, so I'm quite happy to be on that ride. Here it is knit, no, in the process of being knit up. It is a gorgeous colourway, really liking that. All the sort of the greys and the purpley colours. Not normally one for purple, but I am enjoying this very much indeed. Modifying the pattern very, very slightly. The original pattern calls for a DK weight yarn. I'm knitting this out of 4-ply fingering weight yarn, and the original pattern uses round about 50 grams of yarn. I'm going to basically use up all of this 100 grams skein, so I will have a slightly bigger Sophie Scarf than the traditional small Sophie Scarf. I know, I should say it's a pattern by Petite knit, but you probably know that. But I know she has brought out fairly recently a larger, I think it's an Aran weight scarf, bigger scarf version, which looks really nice. I really like them in the single colour, sort of tonal single colours. Might make another one like that, we will see. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying this project. It's very easy, very straightforward. It's an 8-row repeat with not a lot going on. You basically, it's fairly easy to see. You knit, knit. You've got an I-cord edge on both sides, which I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it is beautifully done. And then you add in an increase every so often on one side, which is this side here. And eventually, when you get to a certain point, you start decreasing. So it's a very, very shallow triangle. And you just wrap it around your neck and away you go. So yeah, really happy with this. I cast this on, actually, little story behind this. I cast this on at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of November, and I had originally started to make a Venezia shawl by Hohi Locatelli, but it just wasn't agreeing with me. So I kind of realised I wasn't in the mood for a lacy shawl, a lacy scarf. So I ripped it out and straight away cast on a Sophie Scarf. And I'm really happy with it. I shall look forward to finishing it over the next few weeks, hopefully. So that is that. Let me show you the big one next. This is my Bits and Bobs blanket, and I am showing it to you because I think I am heading towards finishing it. The Bits and Bobs blanket is a pattern by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears, and I have been knitting this since earlier this year, maybe springtime I cast on. I am using, again, Drop Snored in the pearl grey colourway as my sort of overall background colour, and then I am popping in bits and bobs of my minis and scraps, with no rhyme or reason behind which colours are being chosen or when I change them. And I really enjoy this project. I tend to knit on it in the mornings. I get up, have my cup of tea or coffee, and I get my blanket out. It's lovely at this time of year to put it over my knee and to keep warm while I'm knitting it. And I watch some podcasts, or I watch This Is Us. I'm trying to get through that. There's a lot of episodes to watch with that one, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So here it is. I'm going to stand up so you can see. It's massive, huge. That's it, obviously folded in half. And it's just, I've said this before, it is the comfiest, squishiest, coziest blanket that I've made. Really, really enjoying it. I have got, I showed you my skein of drops. I've got that left, and I've got one more 50-gram ball, and I think I'm going to knit until that 50-gram ball is finished, and then I need to add on an I-cord edging all the way round. So I'll need to get another, probably, hopefully just one more skein, or find a skein in my stash to put around the edging, and then it will be done. So I think that will be done by the end of this year, which would be really good. It'd be nice to have a blanket finished in a year. You can see how lovely and squishy it is. It's quite heavy, not quite as heavy as one of those weighted blankets, but it's not far off. So yeah, thoroughly enjoying my bits and bobs blanket. Won't show it to you again until it's finished, but that might be my next episode, who knows. Okay, my final work in progress that I've actually been working on this year, since I last recorded, is my one and only gift knit for this Christmas time. I cast this on about 10 days ago. I went horribly wrong and I ripped it out thinking I was going to find something else to knit on because I couldn't get it. And then I had a bit of an epiphany and I cast it back on again, which was a bit irritating because I had to do lots more rib. And I'm really enjoying it now. So what is it, you ask? Well, sorry, I was just looking at it, looking to make sure I am that I haven't gone wrong anywhere. I am making the tied knots hat, which is a pattern by Justina Lorkowska. I saw it on the Twin Set and Pearl podcast fairly recently. I can't remember who it was it Joe or Rachel? One of them had knit one up and it looked really nice, so I thought, oh, I know someone who would like that. And traditionally every year I have been, for the last few years anyway, making my mum a cabled pom-pom hat. Pom-pom hat? Yeah. Cabled hat with a pom-pom. She hasn't asked for one this year, but I suspect she might quite like it. I'm knitting it out of Drops Karisma in this light oak colourway. That's coming out pretty true to the colour it should be. It's really nice. There's the ball band. There we go. Drops Karisma. It's 50 grams. It's a 50 gram ball and 100 meters. So that is an Aran weight yarn. I think we worked that out. We established 200 meters is about Aran. I can't remember if the pattern calls for, I think this is actually classed as a DK, because I think 240 meters is roughly anyway. Oh, I can see I'm going to get obsessed with meterage with my balls of skeins of yarn. Anyway, let's have a look at the hat, shall we? It's really lovely. Here we go. Is that coming out okay? Okay. So a cabled hat, nice sort of travelling cables all the way around. And I love the look of a cabled hat. I don't enjoy knitting cables tremendously. I find it quite hard going on my hands, but I am knitting these without a cable needle because you only need to slip a couple of stitches each time you do a cable. So it's really, I enjoy, as much as I enjoy doing cables, I quite enjoy doing them when you don't use a cable needle. If I had to use a cable needle with as many cables as there are in this hat, to be honest, I probably wouldn't make it unless I really wanted it. But yeah, it's really nice. It's a 20 row repeat. You knit 2 repeats and then you do a handful of rows from the start of the pattern again before you start decreasing. I haven't got, have I got a printout? I might have actually, yeah. I don't think I've got a picture of the hat to show you, no. So I will pop one up here or up here somewhere to show you the finished hat. Whether or not I put a pom-pom on at the end, I'm not sure. I may or I may not. Depends Depends how much yarn I've got left. It depends how much time I've got left. It depends how much I feel like making a pom-pom. My mum's not massively keen on the like the alpaca pom-poms, so I don't think I would get her one of those. But there we go. Cable always looks really lovely on screen, doesn't it? Beautiful. These, have you seen these before? A few sort of yarn dyers and bag makers are starting to sell these, and I will be selling them soon in my shop as well in my next update. They're brilliant. They are silicone needle protectors, and they're basically beads that have got a hole in, and you just pop them on the end of your needle and they just don't fall off. They're really sturdy on there. And they really help, obviously they help to stop your projects falling off the needles, because that's what they do. But yeah, so I will be selling these in my shop in my next update. I've got lots and lots and lots of different colours that you can choose. Right, that is my tied knots hat. On to just a quick bit of information about my next shop update. It's happening this Friday the 2nd of December and on Saturday the 3rd of December, so it's a two-parter. The first part on Friday will be for subscribers to my email newsletter. They've had the first notification about it last week, and the link to shop will be being sent out on Thursday. So if you are interested in picking up a new project bag or some stitch markers or some of those needle stoppers, or just having a look, then feel free to sign up to my newsletter. There's a link to it in the description box below. So subscribers get first access on Friday at 6 PM UK time, and then the shop update goes more widely available on Saturday morning at 10 AM. I'm not putting anything new into the 10 AM update, it's just what's left from the Friday update. There will be a range of ready to ship and made to order bags as usual. Why have I paused there? What was I going to say? So I've got a handful of bags here to show you some of the bags that are going in. There'll be some Harriet bags in this everyday size and the midi size. They are all made to order. I haven't actually got any ready-made. There will be some sheep. So I have two sheep prints, sheep style 2 and sheep style 1. This is my midi size and this is my extra large size. So I've got lots of these in ready to ship, and there will also be lots made to order, lots available made to order. These are huge. They fit masses of yarn in. I think I say in my listing 10 skeins, but they fit a lot more than that. So pretty much fit all the yarn that you could possibly want for a project. So they will be available made to order and ready to ship. I have some Orla navy bags. I won't get them down, I've got them on my shelves up here. There'll be some runner ducks made to order. I don't have any to show of those, but I have a new fabric which is exciting, and a new seasonal fabric, and I'm calling it Winter Robins, and here it is. Aren't they lovely? Winter robins pecking in the snow. Some of them I think have got some little branches of mistletoe. So cute. So I will have Winter Robins available in my midi size, in my everyday size, and in notions pouch size. So I will have these ready to ship, and there will be some made to order availability for those as well. I will be sewing made to order bags over the first 2 weeks of December, sending out what I have made at the end of those 2 weeks, and then I am shutting up my workroom. The shop will stay open, but I'm shutting up my workroom until the beginning of January, and then any of the made to order bags that haven't yet been made and sent out will be made during January, and I'm aiming to have them sent out by middle to near end of January, and my shop update after that will be 1st of February. There will also be some stitch markers. I've been busily working away on stitch markers and progress keepers. I haven't got any on cards to show you, but I will show you just some examples of what you get. So I do packs of 6 stitch markers and 1 progress keeper, and the stitch markers, oh, stop jiggling about. Stitch markers look like that. You get 1 dark or 1 big bead, and then the smaller beads are different colours. So I have them in dark blue, I have them in mint, I have them in carrot. Oh, it's difficult to show, apologies, and lots of other colours. They're all kind of food, veg, flower related colours, as you will see from the names that I give them on my website. And then the stitch marker, the progress keeper that goes with them will look something like that if it were to focus. There we go. So you get a couple of beads and a couple of stars in varying colours. I've also been playing about, with progress keepers that look a little bit like this. These I think are really cute. Let's see if I can. They are, I can't remember what material they are, but they're quite sort of soft discs that I have strung onto pins. They look a little bit like Christmas trees actually, don't they? Anyway, so I've got a few of those. What else have I got? That's probably about it, but that will give you an idea. There may be some more, but I've got a nice big box full of what I've been making over the last couple of weeks. So as well as bags, there will be stitch markers, progress keepers, and the needle stoppers that I showed you earlier. Okay, I think that is everything for today. This could well be heading towards a shorter episode. Hurrah! Whether I record again in December, I'm not 100% sure. There's going to be an awful lot on videos on YouTube with Vlogmas. I will not be doing Vlogmas. It's not... I can't vlog. I have tried so many times to vlog and I'm not very good at it, so I'm steering clear of Vlogmas. I'm just going to sit down and enjoy everyone else's. So I may not record in December. I may just leave you to all the Vlogmases. We will see. But if I don't record in December, I will record in early January, and I will be picking the prizes for the last quarter of the Make 9 Make Along and the end of year prizes as well. And I will tell you now that this is the last year that I'm going to be running the Make 9 Make Along. Certainly for now. I'm going to have a break next year, and we will see if we bring the Make 9 Make Along back. Yeah. For various reasons, but I need a break from it next year more than anything. Okay, I think that's everything. Thank you ever so much if you have watched all the way through to the end. As always, leave me a comment below. Tell me where you're watching, what you're working on while you're watching. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because that helps to push the video out to more people. I've actually had I had a bit of a flurry of new subscribers since my last video, so a very warm welcome to you all. Thank you very much for subscribing. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave you to your making. Have a lovely December. If I don't speak to you, enjoy the festivities, and I will see you with lots more knitting very soon. Take care. Bye bye.